my goodness. It's Lily, right? I got that right? Yes.
It's Lily.
So cute.
She likes
Kelly just saw the dog. Kelly, at some point, can you snap a picture on your phone to put on the Insta story that like social distancing has nothing on SGA, like it won't stop. Senate meetings might be slightly depressing, but it's all good. It's better to see all of your amazing faces. So we're gonna wait. Are we missing anybody big from Senate? I can't count with this gallery view, but it's all good. It is 6:06, so we'll get started. Oh my gosh, Chris and his kids. There we go. Okay, so as you guys saw from Slack, if you were checking, we don't really have any legislation for this evening, and obviously we do not have a guest speaker. And I feel like that's going to be kind of normal for at least some meetings. Hopefully we'll have some pieces of legislation coming, especially with elections around the corner and things like that. I think the big purpose for at least the first few of these virtual meetings is to touch base with you all, to provide some updates, at least from conversations that some of exec might have had with members of the administration. Make sure you guys are as informed as possible heading into the week, and also giving you all the opportunity to not only see each other, but to talk to each other and ask us any questions that we might have. I guess on topic from, or on the docket from exec tonight, things that we want to make sure we talk about are updates from mailing services that are coming soon. I believe they have not been emailed out yet. I'm looking at Amy and Chris for a nod of the head, but I don't think they've been emailed out yet. So updates from mailing services, conversations that myself and James have had with Provost Benson, as well as, most importantly, elections. I want to put a huge disclaimer. Throughout all of our talks of elections tonight, let us be civil. I'm sure a lot of you have heard a lot of different things about technical issues and other things going on. I don't want this to turn into who's supporting who's on whose side, but we do need to have a very honest and very real conversation. And I want it to be at least in front of the Senate. The exec team has already talked about it a little bit, about what's going to happen and what the future could hold for elections if things continue. So with that being said, Sam, can you unmute yourself and just lead us in a real quick prayer?
I would love to. So this is the Hail Holy Queen. It's said after you say a rosary. So let's always remember in the holy presence of God, in the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. Hail, Holy Queen, Mother of Mercy, our life, our sweetness, and our hope. To thee we do cry, poor banished children of Eve. To thee do we send up our sighs, mourning and weeping in the valley of tears. Turn then, most gracious advocate, thine eyes of mercy towards us, and after this our exile, show unto us the blessed fruit of thy womb, Jesus. O clement, O loving, O sweet Virgin Mary, pray for us. O Holy Mother of God, that we may be made worthy of the promise of Christ. Amen. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you so much, Sam. We are not going to take attendance tonight as we don't have any pieces of legislation, but we are going to open it up. Are there any public comments or concerns?
I have one. Have we heard anything about, I know like right now there's a state ban on large mass gatherings, but do we have somewhat of a plan for how people are going to retrieve their stuff?
So I can speak at least to what I know about that, and I think you bring up a good point, Paige. I'm going to try to reach back out to some members of the admin this week along with Tyler. The last time we heard, there was a plan, kind of an initial plan that the administration came up with for, as you kind of said, that process of going back to campus, getting your stuff, and moving back home. Housing and the administration worked together on that, worked really hard on it, and then they had to get it approved from public health, I believe. Again, looking at Amy and Chris for some head nods, but they had to get it approved by public health. Tyler, you have something?
They said in the email that they would let us know by April 6th if there were any updates.
The last I heard, obviously it's difficult because I think public health was a little bit at least hesitated or concerned about having like students come back so soon. So it might be a little bit later than was initially expected, but as I said, definitely by April 6th, we will know more. Hopefully hopefully this week, Tyler and I can have conversations with whether it be Chris Schramm or Bill and get back to you with kind of just like what's been happening, at least in this past week, in those conversations with public health and with the university. But great question. Any other comments or concerns? Just feel free to unmute yourself and give it a shot. And I'm also trying to scroll everyone and see if anyone's like raising their hands or anything, but that's kind of difficult. Got any other public comments or concerns? All right. Are there any SGA members who would like to offer up a report this evening? Anybody? Anybody at all? Bridget, are you waving your hand? You're good. Just unmute yourself and go. Yeah.
Okay. So I've been emailing with IT, and they said that I could like call in this week to figure out the whole Wi-Fi situation, because since now we're not on campus, it would be easier to fix issues since not everyone is on the server. So hopefully updates to come with that.
Awesome. Thanks, Bridget. Any other updates this evening from SGA members?
If you have an advocacy project that can be worked on from home, feel free to still reach out to people and email them. But if it's something that you can't really do from home, it's not going to be a huge dilemma, and I'm not going to be pressuring anyone to get an advocacy project done. But if you still want to do one, reach out to me and I can still help you get anything that you want to get done.
Henny, have you talked to Tyler about your advocacy work?
I talked to Hannah because I just needed the funds for it, but unfortunately, I guess with the not being able to move the funds over, I don't think it's going to happen this semester. But I emailed the Dean of University Libraries about possibly looking back into doing it next semester.
All right, perfect. Thanks so much, Henny. Any other SGA members who would like to give reports this evening? Doing a quick scan for hands. Ryan, go for it.
So on April 1st is the presidential forum, just for every candidate to kind of talk about their platform and stuff. It will be live streamed. We're doing it through Zoom and some cool stuff with that. It'll be on our website too, the elections website. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me or Sophia know. We're kind of working to put together a PowerPoint and a list of questions for candidates. Yeah, as well, I think we're going to start working on ways to engage students while we're gone. So like the stuff that we've been posting on our social media. I think we're also going to make a Facebook group for people to join if they just want to like talk or stuff like that. If you have any suggestions about what will go there, let me know. I'll eventually invite basically everyone in before, you know, we publicize it, just so we can like maybe talk a little bit to get the ball rolling. And yeah, if you want to be part of that, let me know, because I'm going to need help with moderating that probably.
Ryan, can I chime in about the forum real quick?
Mhm.
So I just want to ask, I know that there's been some conversations and everything's been hectic, and the fact that we're not able to be on campus only adds to it, but has there been any updates either from Ryan, Kelly, or Sophia about marketing materials for the forum itself, as well as just kind of a graphic or something to tell students about the changes in terms of timeline?
You want it to be a graphic, you don't want it to be a create?
A story is fine too. I just want to make sure that we're doing everything that we can. I mean, that you are the marketing expert, and like I trust your judgment. But I just want to make sure that we do everything we can to make sure students come to this. I think one nice thing is, like, if you haven't checked out the elections page yet, make sure you do. And what's nice is after the forum is over and we have that live stream, we're actually going to be able to link it into that website so students can continue to watch it if they didn't actually attend the live event. As far as just letting you guys know about conversations that I've had with UD Social this past week, they are really, really supportive. I think they should have reached out to all of the presidential and vice presidential tickets and candidates already about doing some marketing materials for like the main University of Dayton social media account. They also are planning on helping out if we have any marketing materials, graphics for the forum, they will repost those as well. So I would just like, as long as UD is able to repost it, I'm good.
Because I think the main thing is if we just make it like super easy to access, like user friendly, like if there's no question as to how you do it, then that's the main thing. So
I think
like, one is clear and concise, and it's just a link, right?
Yeah. And I think one awesome thing, and I see Chris raising his hand, UD Social, I actually think will have the ability to do like the swipe up link
Oh, okay, because we can't do that on ours.
Yeah, so hopefully that'll be able to work too. If not, they said they'd be willing to do like link in bio and stuff.
Okay.
Chris, did you have something?
Yeah, I'm gonna share my screen real quick. I have 2 updates. So one, this is the elections website that Brian was talking about. In case you haven't seen it, you should have gotten at least 1 email now about it. But Ryan and Sophia and I met Friday afternoon, maybe. And we set up the live stream. So there's actually, the link is already here. So live in 3 days to our YouTube channel. And the link to the ballot is also here. I don't know why it didn't tell me yet, but it just tells you that it's not live yet. And then obviously all the candidates' information is here as well. And each candidate has a page. So our website should have a lot of information for elections. And then to something that Daniel started to talk about, the university has asked all departments to stop spending money. And they have, in effect, frozen all of our purchasing cards. So in order to make any purchases, we need to provide a justification for how it is part of an essential continuation of operations. And so, Daniel, I might recommend that you work to pass legislation this semester that that pushes that project into next semester. So I do think while we might not be able to give money to the library right now, because we're not able to do anything with money really, I think you can put in legislation that we're going to, in the future, support that project.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
If anyone else has things that they think they need to spend, please let us know. I am happy to go to bat for any spending that is necessary, and try to get that done. But as you are thinking about spending money, just remember to think about whether or not it's necessary this semester.
Perfect. Thank you, Chris. Tong Yu, is this about the forum? Because I just had like one more quick thing to say about that, and then I'll turn it over.
It's not about the forum. You can finish yours first.
Yeah, just so the last thing about that, Kelly, whatever you do end up making, can you just make sure, like, we really need all of you to help us out with marketing. I think one of the first things I said at our very, very early on fall retreat a long time ago was that in addition to all of your roles, you were also members of UD-SGA's marketing team, in the sense that we need your help to spread our messages and to spread our materials now more than ever. So please share the flyer we make, the story we make, the create mode we make, whatever it is. Please share that on your personal accounts. Make sure your constituents know and are informed. We've been sending a lot of student body emails lately, which I'm totally fine with continuing to do. Remember the beads, absolutely, Chris. Thank you. I just think it's really important that we all do what we can to continue to increase SGA's ability to engage with students and increase our reputation on campus as being an organization that is there for students and that is accountable for students. So I hope that you all continue to do that as we move forward. Tong Yu, I will turn it over to you because I saw your hand up. I like the top, by the way.
I have a question though. Are we still going to do a report, the annual report? And if we're doing it, how is this going to be? Like, is everyone still going to contribute on some certain issues? Yeah.
I will let Ryan and Kelly speak on that if they'd like a little bit more. I can tell you, yes, we are doing one. I don't think that was ever a question, at least in my head. I'm sure that there will be some section in there about how this has been a truly wild and unprecedented year, and especially semester. But I think y'all have still done some amazing work that you should be really proud of, and we've done some amazing work that we should be really proud of, despite everything that's been going on and despite kind of the craziness that this semester has brought. So we will do that. I'm sure it will be beautiful like last year. For those of you that don't know, for those of you that are either a first year or new to SGA, every year we do an annual report, and basically there will be a letter in there to start it out from me and Tyler, but then it will actually break down kind of the accomplishments of the first year senators, the sophomore senators. Yeah, Ryan has a great little handout for it, but it kind of breaks down, as Tong Yu was saying, the work of really all of us by position. It lists out, who was on the exec team, what work was done, things like that. So committees as well. So yeah, I definitely think we'll continue to do it. I don't know, Ryan or Kelly, if you have anything else you want to say about that.
I got nothing.
Cool. Kelly, we're good. All right, awesome. Any other SGA reports this evening? If you guys know how to use the little hand function too, that would be nice, but I'll try to look, or just unmute yourself and start talking. I'll scan the room a few times to make sure I'm not missing anybody.
Is this our last Senate, or do we have more?
No,
Depends on the situation.
I'd already be in tears if this was our last Senate. We will be having more. We plan to still do a weekly Senate every Sunday at 6. If it takes 15 minutes, it takes 15 minutes. If it takes an hour, it takes an hour. And we do plan on having legislation. We will need to have legislation moving forward for a number of things. But yeah, plan on every Sunday at 6, same as
Bless you,
always.
Kelly.
Obviously, the dress code is kind of out the window. Please don't dress inappropriately, but casual is totally fine, as is today. All right, anything else? Cool. I'll move into my report. And again, just a few updates from my okay, Ryan, just if y'all saw Ryan's comment in the chat, that's a really good thing to know. Thanks, Ryan. So a few updates from Ryan. Just wanted to let you know, I reached out to Chris Schramm earlier this week about mail, whether or not you received a package from a university house or a residence hall or an apartment, kind of how mailing services would be handling all of the mail that has been sent to schools since we've all left, and how it will continue to do so. They are releasing an email hopefully sometime this week, and I will make sure to double back and make sure we can get that done as soon as possible. But it's a big FAQ document of like, okay, if it was UPS, what happened to my package? How can I get my package? Should I, when I pick up my stuff, should I go to the mailroom and pick it up then, or can I have it actually shipped from UD Mailing Services to my home address? It's a really helpful document that just kind of lays out, if you are waiting on a package, a piece of mail, whatever it might be from UD, they either have it or it's currently, like, I know Chris Ram said sometimes packages will still be delivered to like the porches of homes within the student neighborhood. So definitely reach out to parking services. I'm sure they're going to get overwhelmed as soon as they send out that email with questions from students, but they're doing a pretty good job being committed to replying to each student within about 24 hours, which is really, really nice. So be on the lookout for that email. Kelly, you have something. Also,
I don't know if anyone lives in a landlord home, but that doesn't like excuse, I think they're doing the same thing with landlord homes. I know, like, I live in one and our packages all got sent to Fit. So I just don't want you to think that you're like out of that kind of mix.
Awesome. Thanks, Kelly.
Keep your eyes peeled, I guess.
Awesome. Anything else about mail?
Just, you said parking services, it's mailing services, and there will be a general email address. And like Brian said, as you can imagine, they're going to get inundated with emails. So be patient, but there are different instructions for every different carrier of your mail and packages.
Yeah. Thanks, Amy. Next up, talking about academics, I think we can all say the move by the Provost's office and the Academic Senate into an optional pass-fail system was incredible. I have yet to talk to a student that does not find that helpful. I know there were a few questions that I at least got since that email was released about why April 24th. I know I was directly approached by someone who saw Wright State, and that Wright State is actually allowing students to decide after finals about which grading system they want. James and I earlier this week, kind of the day of that email being sent out, we had a really good conversation with Provost Benson just about the system and the way it works. The April 24th date, just letting you all know, was set for very important reasons. The Provost's office and the Academic Senate obviously doesn't want this to just be, they're hoping that students take their time in deciding between the current grading system and pass-fail. The Provost's office told James and I to tell all of you, to tell your constituents, that before switching to that option 2, if you are able, really think about and possibly reach out to future employers, professional schools, whatever it may be, certification boards, and ask them if they have a preference on which you sign up for. because there could be circumstances where you opting into that option 2 and that pass-fail system could negatively impact you, whether it's a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, or next month. So just really take your time on that. The provost also did tell us that odds are once you do make a decision, that decision is probably final. He obviously said there'd be some exceptions, but what they don't want is, hey, I'm really stressed out about this test. I want to go into pass fail. Oh, I got a 90 on that test. Okay, I'll switch back to GPA. Like they don't really want that. So once you make that decision, that's probably going to be what you end up with. So really do take your time, talk with the people that you need to talk to, and make sure you have that figured out before going into making that decision. You still have about another month to make it. Any questions about that? Scrolling for hands real quick. James, anything I missed that you want to add? Awesome, thank you. Anything else from anybody? Cool. Next up, before we get into elections, please send me your songs. I'm really excited about that. I worked hard on that, and it's a great playlist so far. If you haven't sent them to me, please send them to me. It makes me really happy. And I hopefully it'll make some of you happy as well. We have everything from like Hall & Oates to Post Malone in there so far. It's a really great playlist, so please send me your songs. Now getting into like kind of the important topic for the evening, elections. Thank you, Ryan. As you all saw, we sent out an email yesterday, Sophia and myself, about some issues that have been had by a few candidates and presidential tickets when it comes to Instagram. Obviously, it's frustrating because Instagram is really, at least, no, Kat, you're good. Instagram is really important. Actually, yes, if you can. Kat, are you currently live? I don't see your stream. Chris, Amy, thoughts about minutes? Tyler, what was that?
We're recording it. I think it actually makes a transcript when it is done.
Thank you, Jesus.
All right, thanks, Chris. So yeah, no minutes. So going back to elections, as you guys saw, we sent that email out, and it's just kind of frustrating because especially this election cycle, not having the ability to campaign in person. Correct me if I'm wrong, candidates and tickets in the room. Instagram is really the best way to engage with people and to get your platform out there and to interact with constituents, voters, whatever it might be. Specifically to presidential tickets, their campaign accounts, as well as one of the vice president of finance candidates have been having issues where every time they go to follow someone, make a post, like another post, they're getting a pop-up that says action blocked, and they are not able to really do anything that they want other than, I believe, make stories, and people can follow them, but they can't follow other accounts. So it's been a big issue. And it's been an issue really since we kind of started campaigning. Just letting you all know that we've had a number of conversations about how to proceed as an SGA, both in terms of trying to figure out the root of the issue. I know Chris is currently looking into having conversations with UDIT to see what can be done on Instagram's end, and if this is an Instagram problem. I will also share that we are going to do our due diligence and make sure that if this is a person or something other than just Instagram being Instagram, we are going to try our best to figure out what that is and how to stop the issue. I will also share, if this continues to be an issue, the conversations I've been having with Sophia and exec, I think by the time the presidential forum hits, which is Wednesday, there's not that much time after Wednesday and voting opens. And this is solely personally, do not think that we can continue to carry on with our current dates that have been set for voting opening and voting closing if the issue continues and if the issue has not been resolved by then. In this coming week, I think there's going to be a number of